Hiya, it's Michelle Johnson with Have Color Will Travel, and welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a tutorial. If you've got some security envelopes, and if you're a human being, you have them, you pay bills, they come in security envelopes, and a deck of playing cards that you don't intend to use, really, you don't intend to use them, then let's make a doodle deck with those two things. This tutorial is for those of us that love to draw and definitely use drawing as a way of managing time that feels like it's either really stressful or that it's wasted time. So the kinds of time I'm talking about: waiting at dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, in hospitals, in airports, waiting for our children to be done with their activities. That's what this doodle deck that's made out of trash is designed for. It's super easy, super fun. I'm going to walk you through the steps of making it, and then I'm going to walk you through how I'm using it in my own life, because currently my life is a little bit stressful, which I will share with you as we go along this tutorial. Let's do it. So step one is to go into those envelopes, those security envelopes, and tear them apart essentially. Open them up at their seams and create flat sheets of patterned paper. It's the pattern that we're after with these security envelopes. And it's quite likely that you're not like me, obsessed with the security patterns on these envelopes. So perhaps you might have to dive into your recycling bin to discover some of these. But there's a little bit of a story behind why I have so many. I have been collecting them. It was probably a year or so ago I started to take note of the inside patterns of security envelopes and started to notice the differences. Like, some are really jaunty and some are full of lines. Some are these intricate patterns that you could imagine being on ties or other kinds of textiles, or even, wallpaper. And I just started to collect them. If I saw a new one, I got really excited, and I've been amassing them in a box in my studio, and I didn't really know why. But then someone gave me a box of playing cards that I just didn't have a use for, and a light bulb went off in my head. I know what I want to do with all of these many different patterns. I'm going to cut them apart and I'm going to create a doodle deck. So after you've finished taking apart all of these envelopes and you've amassed this collection, this really, really cool collection when you think about it, of patterns, you're going to find yourself some sort of a shape cutter. This is a paper cutter. Mine's a square. You could do one that's a circle, triangle, or if you didn't have a paper cutter like this, get yourself a pair of scissors and just cut down some of those patterns to size. As you're going through and making your shapes out of these patterned papers, be keeping in mind that depending upon where you cut the pattern, you could get more than one active square for your doodle deck. So even though these patterns are repeating on the security envelope, depending upon where you cut them, like for an example, this one, that's a very simple pattern of a thick white bar across lots and lots of very thin black lines and white lines. Depending upon where I cut it, I was making a new pattern each time, getting more bang for your buck, if you will, even though it's just trash. Each one was going to be creating a different doodle inspiration for me to use and to put into my deck. So as you look at your patterns, keep that in mind as you're cutting and creating these little squares of inspiration. As I went through this process, I couldn't help but wonder, who makes these patterns? Were these machine made, i.e. computer made? Or was there somebody somewhere, sometime, who created all of these patterns for some envelope company and they just keep getting used over and over again? There was some mysterious pattern maker. I don't know. Anyway, next you want to find yourself some sort of adhesive. I tried out a glue stick, some double-sided tape, and a tape runner. And while both the glue stick and the tape runner were really effective at doing this, I decided to go with the glue stick to create a nice sealed edge onto the card of the pattern. I could have used the tape runner, but it is more expensive to use than a glue stick. So since glue stick worked, that's what I went with. You could also use double-sided tape. I find it to be really cumbersome as it's constantly sticking to my fingers. I didn't quite have 52 patterns, but I still came away with a large number of cards. This doodle deck not only gives you pattern inspiration, but it also gives you color inspiration, since there are gray patterns, blue patterns, and black patterns. Each card, you can think of it as a large pattern or a very small pattern. Take a piece of it and then take it to your journal or your sketchbook and use it as a way of, hey, this is what I'm going to draw because my brain can't handle anything else right now. How I use it is I shuffle things up, and yes, this is my version of shuffling. I'm not very good with cards. And I look at the number side and just choose whatever number is calling to me. And when I find that pattern, that's the one that I go with. I pull out a pen and a sketchbook and I get going. As I did here on this day, where I decided to open up my camera and show my doodle deck in action. My son, Samuel, was diagnosed with stage 3 papillary cancer this past summer. And as he's been going through treatment, I've been helping him. Both his father and I have been helping him. And when I've had to take him places and wait, I have found my brain completely incapable of thinking of what to draw. So I've been using this doodle deck. And like you see here, I picked out a pattern, didn't like it, decided, you know what, I get to pick another pattern. And this one goes in all kinds of directions, which was exactly how my brain was. The day that I decided to film this doodle deck in action, my brain was so stressed out, I couldn't even draw this pattern on a blank page. So I went to a drawing of a chair that I did the day that my son received his radiation treatment. And I brought something a little more jaunty with some watercolor pencils and this crazy confetti of color. Is it art? Is it phenomenal? No. It was a drawing that helped me survive a really difficult time, and it was a way for my brain to calm down. And there you have it, a doodle deck that took supplies, or really trash, that was hanging around your house, and you made something that was useful in your stress management. If you do make one of these for yourself, I highly recommend finding a place to put it that you can store it either in your car, in your purse, and whatever it is that you carry around with you on the daily. Not super convenient for a pocket, but you do you. I found this on Amazon and I'm really loving it. It stores not only my doodle deck, which I keep in the front zipper pocket, but a bunch of supplies. So depending upon my mood, I can play with whatever's going to work. I store it in my backpack / purse, since I'm not really a purse person. And it has come to my rescue on a number of occasions since I made this deck. This deck isn't, like I said before, designed for making art. It's designed for helping you get through those spaces when your brain can't even draw what's in front of it because it's that stressed out. It's also designed to help you kind of practice mindfulness in those moments where our lives are a little bit out of our control, but that doesn't mean that we have to succumb to that pressure. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you make a doodle deck, let me know how it's going for you as you're using it in your daily life. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.